Giovanni, ¿cómo estás?
Hello, teacher. Good evening.
How
How
are
are
you
you?
doing? Are you on your way
Oh,
home?
teacher, I'm going to tell you something, but you are not going to believe me. My co-worker in this moment is at the hospital, so I have to take over him. In this moment, I am way of my house, but I have to work too hard, very heavy. I have to work very heavy because every day I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I arrive into my house around 11 at night. I have a very heavy schedule work,
What what
but
happened
I'm
to your
here.
what happened to your coworker? Is he okay? Is he better or
Excuse me, teacher.
what happened to your coworker?
Oh, my coworker, he had I don't know how to say calculus
Ah,
in the
okay.
kidney and in the hospital, and it's possible that he's going to get some surgery. It's possible, but I don't know. Because I work in as a security coordinator in a that's a big company, but my schedule work is very heavy because I have to work sometimes 14 hours a day. But for example, the last Monday it was my day off. I was in my house and I have the synchronic encounter with another subject which you apply linguistics to. I had the opportunity to be there, but this week I've been working like a crazy.
Hmm. Okay.
Anyway, I enjoy of the synchronic encounter. It doesn't matter by my cell phone because for me it's very important to be here.
Okay, Giovanni. Julian, good evening. Carol, good evening.
Hello,
Good
teacher.
evening, teacher.
How are you guys doing?
Fine,
Good,
teacher.
thank
I am
you.
trying to get connection by my computer for turn on the camera. At the moment, I am by my phone.
Okay. Julian, do you have your presentation? The one that was for the second encounter?
Yeah, sure. I have this.
Okay. Could you please share it with us?
¿Lo comparto una vez?
Yes, please.
All right. So,
Okay, so Carol and Giovanni, we're going to start with Julian's presentation since he had a problem during the second encounter. So he's going to show us, to tell us about the news that he read, and he's going to use this PowerPoint presentation to show us passive voice sentences that were related to the news that he read. Okay, so Julian, please go ahead.
wait. All right. The word spheres. How do you say this word? I
Three,
never.
3D, 3D.
3D.
Sí.
3D printed neighborhood is going to be built in Mexico. Two houses in a impoverished rural part of Mexico were built by a giant 3D printer. 50 new houses will be replaced, be developed. A seismic zones in the state of Tabasco could be flooded during the rainy season, and the current structure must be replaced. The most vulnerable are being the lowest income families. Yeah. News Story has been patented as a non-profit organization. They're reinforced by base for new construction could have been for a low price. More than 2,700
2,700.
2,700 were built in South America and Mexico since 2014.
In 20, you can say with years, you can say the first two
2014?
numbers and the second and the next two numbers. So 2014.
2014.
Uh-huh.
The decision was made to deliver a much higher quality products to the housing market.
All right.
A much positive contribution has been done on this subject. Positive contribution.
I guess it will be till subject. So much, many positive, or many positive contributions have have been done because it's plural, have been done on this subject.
Here,
Yes, right there.
change for
Have, because it's plural. Exactly. Okay, very good. So in general, the news was about, could you summarize what was the news about?
Sorry, teacher, what?
Could you summarize and tell us what the news were about?
Teacher, what is summarize?
Like to briefly tell us the news, like to
Yeah.
give us a summary or short, few little information about the news. So what were the news about in general? With
maybe I don't remember.
a big what?
I know.
You have it in the first slide. There. The name of the machine is a 3D printer.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
Is maybe what is the name? This is I don't remember what is the name. Not sure. I don't remember.
So it's a printer, right? So what does it print?
Yeah.
What it constructs is houses, right? The machine.
Yeah.
And what is different about this? I mean, usually houses are built by people, but those houses are built by a printer. So that is kind of, it's a system.
Yeah, but maybe the people use the printer for building how do you say in modelos en escala, ¿cómo se llama?
You could say a draft.
A draft?
DRAFT, a draft.
A draft.
Right, so they have the models of some houses and they put it into the system, right, into the computer. And the computer sends the information to the printer. The 3D printer, well, builds the house. What else is different regarding the amount of time spent to build a house? If we compare to the common way of building houses. So regarding the time that is spent to build the houses.
Mm,
The words first is different.
oh, teacher, sorry. In this moment, I am lost because I know
Oh, okay. So
I don't.
these news are tell us about a new technological way to build houses, right? If we compare the common way to build houses, we have that people usually build them, and we don't need computers or a machine, a printer to build them. But what is different between the time used to build a house with a printer and a house built compared to a house built by people? The time.
Mm, the time maybe in this no this. Mm, I don't.
Yes, so it's faster to build the house with the printer, right? It's faster. So they have been built a lot of houses
Teacher,
in uh, in well, very fast, using less time than it is usually the time that is spent when people build houses, because this is a machine, so it's faster, right? So that's the difference with the time. Good. So let's move to the topic that we have today, all right? Thanks, Julian, for sharing that information. And well, good evening, Amin, Paola, and Daliana.
Hello, teacher.
Good evening, teacher. My cabin is not working, excuse me.
Okay. Did you all watch the video that was about Jamie?
Yes, I saw the video.
Okay.
No, teacher, I didn't.
All right.
yes.
A text video, teacher?
The video that was about Jamie.
Yes,
Yes,
I saw.
Yes.
Yes, I watched.
So, who didn't watch it?
The video of TED program,
Yes, the TED Talk.
the TED Talk. Yes, I saw the video.
Yeah. The name
Yes,
of
teacher.
the talk was Moonshoot.
Yes, it was
I-
very interesting, teacher,
Mhm.
I saw
because
the
you
video
need to
too.
fight for your dream.
Reflecting,
Okay, that's
reflecting
like
you.
like what you conclude, Giovanni. All right. Julia, did you watch the video?
Yes, I see this video.
Okay,
Watching this
Julian.
video.
So, could you please tell us what you remember about the information that Jamie gave about his life? I have here some pictures that probably can help you to tell the information. So here we have one picture, two pictures. Here we have other one. So what do you remember he mentioned about his life and in general, the talk was about what?
I remember he grew up in a small country town in a place called um, Shipper, called Shipper, and which was about 200 kilometers north of Melbourne in the south of Australia. And he had six brother and a sister. He had left school by the time he were 15. Um, they left school because it wasn't necessary. Because when were going to up, it was really tough. I remember he was one of the best riders. What more? He grew up with many difficulties as a child. He also grew up with a big dream. The dream was to become a professional cyclist. Ted started competition in BMX when he was 9 years old.
What happened when he grew up?
Maybe because he was working at one of the two graduates management school in the world. He was living in London and he worked really hard.
And then when he was an adult, what did he do?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Don't remember?
No.
What did he say about this photo? Do you remember?
I remember maybe he participated in a sport Olympic. No,
right.
For senior in Sydney and Torino. I no more. I don't remember more.
Okay, thank you, Julian. Giovanni, what else do you remember about Jamie's life as an adult?
Okay, teacher. I want to in short, I want to talk something about him. First of all, he was a very successful person. He worked all his life 24/7, but he realized that he wanted to fight for his fight because he was very frustrated because he couldn't do what he wanted to do. But when when he began older, he thought that he wanted to fight for his dream. So he decided to ride in his bicycle again, and he participated in a very important race, and he won the silver medal. and he felt proud of himself because he couldn't. Now he said he regret because he dedicated a lot of time for his job, and he should dedicate more time for himself and for his family. That
Okay,
is what I remember about the video.
good. Thank you, Giovanni.
Okay.
So he mentioned many things about his life, and I would like any of you tell me what do you think is the meaning of success for this man, for Jamie?
The meaning of success.
Yes.
Success. He speaks that despite being a very successful man, he was for example, he was a bad husband and a bad father. And he said the success had made him stupid, for example. So he asked himself, he answered, what is the success? And he said, and he thought that success was not about him. It was about his family and what they really want to be, teacher.
Right. So the meaning of success for him was to think about his family and his likes, right? Not only about
Exactly, teacher.
himself.
Exactly.
All right.
He realized that he was not happy, for example.
Exactly.
Sorry.
He didn't feel happy, or as Giovanni mentioned, he felt frustrated, and that made him reflect about his life, right? Do you remember what he did in order to make decisions about something different for his life? He did something.
A phrase, a sentence.
Well, no, not a sentence, but something he did when he reflected about his feelings, and he said, I feel unhappy, I feel frustrated, and he was kind of lost about the way he was going to take, or the way his life should take. He did something to make that decision. Do you remember what he did?
No, I remember a sentence about the charting the moon.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
What does
that,
shooting the moon means for him?
he said success is great and shooting for the moon is great, but out there in the universe there are a lot of moons. So just make sure that the moon that you are shooting for is your own. This was the sentence.
Okay, so if in Jamie's case, shooting for the moon was to reflect about his likes, but his family likes, not only his likes.
Exactly.
Is it the same like for everybody?
I don't know. I remember. So he said the success was not about him. It's about his family.
It was about his family. That reflection that he had is the same for every person in the world, because shooting the moon is what he mentions when he says that.
I don't know. I suppose yes.
So, for example, in your case, I mean, your success will be measured if you achieve the objectives that you and your family have.
In my case,
in your case?
mm, I, I suppose this is different because in my case, I I had always I wanted to be a musician, and since when I was a child, I started to study in in a music school. So always I had the opportunity to study music, for example.
So your objective is different to Jamie's objective, right?
Yes, it's
So
different.
that's why he says that there are different moons and that you should shoot at your moon,
Yes.
not somebody else's moon. It's just an expression that he's comparing that the moon is the goal and shoot is the journey to get to the moon. So your journey to get to your moon, to your objective, is different to Jamie's journey or my journey.
Uh, um, so because there are different moons or many moons, is compare um, how do you say ka luna?
Each
Each moon is the same each opportunity.
each
If
moon is an opportunity for each person. Yes.
if if there are many moons, there are many opportunities.
Yeah, well, it's a metaphor, right? So the moon is what each person wants. And shoot means that you direct your efforts to achieve your objective, to achieve your life, your goal, your objective. So that's what
Exactly.
is a metaphor, is you want to get there. So I would like each one of you to tell me what you consider is your moon, is your objective in life. What do you consider will help you to be successful, or what do you consider is important to be successful in life?
Um, make good music,
In your
for
case, I
example.
mean, is to continue producing music and working with music.
Exactly, teacher.
Exactly. What about Eliana and Juliana and Giovanni and Paola? What
For
is
example, for me, teacher, my achieve my objectives.
objective?
Uh, objective is have a big farm. But why? Because I prefer live uh, the the way quiet, tranquila, quiet.
Uh-huh.
Um, in my case, it's not priority. For example, my work or my study. No, I prefer live quiet with my husband in a big farm. This is my objective.
Okay.
Then in this video,
Jamie?
Jamie says said the success is to make the real dream come true.
Okay.
The success is not only money or material things. It's more
Okay.
for me. It's more important. the family and my environment, I don't know, my family environment, my family, no more.
You could say probably your family welfare, which means that you want them to be okay. Welfare.
Mm-hmm. Welfare.
Uh-huh.
Okay, teacher.
Good. So that's your moon or your objective.
This is my
Your
my
objective.
moon.
Mhm. That's what you consider will make you feel successful. The time when you get to live in the countryside and to have a farm. Feel that you are a successful woman.
Yes. Yes,
And
it's more important, teacher, because, for example, I don't have children. I can't. Definitely, I can't. But I am happy with my pets. I am happy with my country house.
uh-huh.
Uh, I don't need uh, more.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Paola. Okay, what
Okay.
about Daliana, Juliana, and Giovanni? What,
Um,
Daliana?
it's when I was watch this video makes me reflect about many things in my life because he said that he had this dream of racing with bikes, and some point in the life he stopped this dream and changed the path and choose other things that he thought that was more success, and maybe because other people suggest that is the best way. And this is something that makes me think in my life because when I was young I was confused what exactly I want to do with my life, and in some point I choose a career that I thought that was better for me, for my family welfare, and in this path I feel that it is not enough, and at the same time I want to do more different things. In some point in my life I thought that I want to do more things, but I have to choose one. And in the phrase that he mentions about the moon, we have to choose a moon, and outside in the universe there are a lot of moons. Is about that sometimes we have different options, but we need to choose one that makes me feel comfortable, and that is enough, and happy on the end, because we only have one life. And in my case my mood is teaching, is continue learning, and even in some point in my life I would like to study production of TV in cine, because
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I like. And I, a lot of time before I was thinking that maybe it's not possible for me to study these two careers, but at this point I think it could be possible. Of course, with ordering I have to finish one and continue building a career. But my main thing is that do what exactly I really want to do that makes me happy, and feel that that is enough, and help my family. Because for me, as the major of my classmates, is really important, is all that I have, and I want to give them all that they need and want. And the path that I choose, I think, helps me to accomplish this goal. And I think that the all the story that this man said is about that, about the choose, that all the elections, the things that you choose, and how these decisions help you to achieve some things. But in the deeper of these decisions, you need to realize if you are really happy, and you feel complete with all this that you have in your life.
Okay, so it's also connected to the idea of feeling happy, right?
Hmm.
In your case, good. Thank you, Daliana. What about Julian and Giovanni and Carol?
I didn't look the video, but meanwhile my partners was speaking, I was looking that. Well, I could realize that he was telling about that he convert in a people arrogant. He felt tired. He was unhealthy. He was egoistical because he have three children and a wife, but he said that he forget the romance with her husband
Their
and
wife.
oh, sorry, yeah, with her with his wife, and he mentioned um, like I don't know, como, well, like a phrase that say, if you go keep heading in the same direction, you're likely to get where you were going.
That's a quote.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Yes, he mentioned a quote about a Chinese man, philosophy, I believe. And well, if you want to share your future, uh, maybe you need begin to make different things because yes, he have maybe money and success in there in his career, but he in a moment he stopped and think that if he continued walking in the same direction, making maybe the same, taking the same decisions, the same business, he will get the same that this have it in this moment. That was all this are tired and healthy. So I am agree with them in this. First, I believe that we have to choose the career, the studies that make us happy, because that's in that we will spend the best part or the great part of our life. But in the other side, we have to a social life, we have a family, we have friends, we have our hobbies. So yes, we have to choose the correct career that we love, maybe that get bring us passion, but we have to try to spend our time in other things for, because a lot of rich men or rich people believe in the end of their last life that if all the money that they have could or would buy the more life for them, but that's not possible. So it doesn't matter the money that you have, that you will have at the end of your life, if with this money you can pay more life for you for enjoy the little things maybe. So that's my conclusion, teacher.
Okay, thanks, Carol. Carol, what's your mood? What's your objective? Have you reflected about it?
Well, I believe that in my family life, maybe continue and share with my family, with my brother, my mother, my father, and maybe make some travels with them. In my professional life, well, I have a lot of goals. I don't know if that's are possible because I am like a dreamer, but I would like maybe work in a laboratory, something about investigation, things like this. But apart of this, I like to the business that don't implies the medicine. So I am trying this with my brother in this moment, and this is other goal that we have both. That's all for me. At the moment, I believe that in the future we have to get a family, a husband, and some children. I don't know. That's in the way.
All right, thanks, Carol. Julian, are you there? Julian? Giovanni.
Hello. Hi, teacher.
Giovanni, could you
Well,
tell us about
uh,
you?
yes, yes, of course. Well, I agree with my classmate about the moon, about the goal, but I want to tell you something about the moon. Every people have different moon, different people have different kind of opportunities in life. But if you have a moon, if you have a goal in your life, you need to work very hard, very tough. If you really want to get to your own moon. For example, in my case, my goal is to be able to speak like a native speaker someday because I would like to speak English 100%. That is one of my moon because I would like someday to sit in front of my television and see a series in English and to be able to understand 100%. So I have been working very hard because you need to learn different things, a lot of vocabulary, different expression, whatever. And I thinking about going to the United States pretty soon because I really want to become true my dream. So in the future, I plan to have my own business. One of them is an English institute because
English
that
Language
is my
Center.
mom. Yes, the language sector with the native speaker with a different methodology, different, different from now of teaching English. It will be different than the ways that they teach English right now with different methodology. That is what I think in the moment. That's my mom. There are a lot of people that maybe think to have a cars, house, or maybe different thing, money. It's important, yes, of course. The money is very important in this life because with your money you will be able to travel abroad or whatever you want. But I have lived different experience in my life. That's the more important because when you get maybe a position or different thing in your life, for example, a good job or maybe a big house, a very nice or luxury car, that's maybe you feel
Where is he? He's offline now.
you can do it. I know that it's not easy, it's difficult, but impossible is nothing, teacher. If you really want something, you have to fight for your dream.
Okay. Giovanni, by the time you get to the States, you will need to give your brain some time to understand everything, understand the pronunciation, and it will take you about a month. So don't get stressed if that happens to you, that you don't understand the information that you listen, because that is as I told you, your brain needs some time to get adapted to those new uh, accents and sounds. So that's gonna take a little bit, like 1 month or less than 1 month, but it will happen.
Okay, yes, teacher, thank you so much because to tell the truth, I have been studying it for a long time in different accent. I love American accent, but sometimes I try to learn British accent because it's very important. For example, the TOEFL exam always is you want to make that difficult exam because it's not so easy. It's in British, so you need to master this accent because it's not so easy in that kind of tests. So every day I try to learn different things in English because it's very important, and I try to listen in some podcasts that help for my listening and comprehension. I know that sometimes I make a lot of mistakes every day, but it's important to make mistakes because the practice makes perfect, as I say minutes ago. But when you practice, is important because that is the only way that you are going to reach your objective.
Okay, thanks, Joan. Julian, are you there? Julian? Julian? No.
Teacher, I have a little question.
Yes?
Teacher, because in the quote that I tell you, I note, for example, where you were going. I don't know how make the differently between the pronunciation, because that is where that donde and where the pasado. So how can I make a difference between the pronunciation?
Sometimes some people say where, but other times the pronunciation is the same. So you only will know what word you are or the person is talking about by analyzing the structure of the sentence. Yes.
Okay.
Some people say where, where, but others say where.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see who wrote something. Should have problems with my microphone. I tried to configure it. Did any of you know a person who has changed the journey or like has made different decisions when being an adult? Like for example, Jamie's case, he realized that he wanted to take a different journey by the time he was in his 40s. So do you happen to know a person like that realized that the journey he had decided was not the one that made him happy or her happy, and that made decisions by the time he or she was 40, 50, 60, 70, I don't know.
Sure, I believe that maybe here in Colombia that's happened because of the money. Because in the case of the careers or studies, well, it's difficult. And I know a teacher in my college that he teach biochemistry, and he is bachelor on that. But his dream was study medicine. So as he didn't have enough money for pay, this even he told us that he passed in the national college, but he didn't have even for the lunch, for the transport, and so for he was very difficult. So for that he studied biochemistry. That's correct. Biochemistry, right? So I believe that in our context in Colombia, maybe that is a factor too.
Now that you mention, yes, I know some people who have decided to study something similar to what was his or her
Exactly.
dream because of the money they needed to study.
I have a lot of partners too that study odontology, but their dreams was study medicine. But that like it is something. How do you say parecido, teacher?
Similar.
Yes, of course. Like it's something similar, they study that.
Dentistry.
Ah, okay. Then thank you,
Teacher,
teacher. I don't.
teacher,
Amit?
yes, in my case, I studied cooking or chef 7 years ago in the Mariano Moreno Escuela de Cocina. And I was working in the kitchen and restaurants for 3 years, but I decided it was not what I want in my life, and I continue working with music today, and I happy,
Good.
very happy today.
You found your way.
Yes,
I guess it's very stressful to work in a kitchen, is it?
yes, it's a military way.
I guess. But I also guess you get to eat delicious food. No?
I suppose. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Julian, are you there? What happened here? Okay, so anybody else wants to say something about this topic? This is what I found in the dictionary about the meaning of success. The favorable result of something attempted. So with what you attempt to do, what you try to do, you finally achieve. You achieve what you try to do. The other is the gaining of wealth, position, and honors. I guess some people connect the idea of success with money and position and recognition, etc. Other one is a successful performance or achievement, or a person or thing that is successful. Okay, here I'm going to write some sentences I would like you to correct. How can we correct that sentence?
Teacher,
Joan.
Bueno, he say he wanted to change that style. But who? I say maybe he wanted to say that he was tired. I think it was more complete the sentences.
Well, the problem is,
Or
yes, with this word, because this is an adjective, yeah? So you say, I am or he is tired,
uh-huh,
right? But
exactly.
here, the idea is not to write an adjective, but a noun. To
Exactly.
cambiar ese cansancio. In sometimes to change from adjectives to nouns, we add N-E-S-S. So he wanted to change that tiredness. Now we have a noun.
Okay, what is the name when you change the last word of the word? For example, perceive, suffix,
Tiredness.
Suffix.
suffix, exactly. Suffix, exactly.
For example,
It's the part of the word that helps you change from
okay.
to a noun.
Sufijo.
Exactly.
Yes, for example, happy, happiness. For example.
Exactly. For example.
Sadness.
Exactly.
Loneliness.
Exactly. So many adjectives change to the noun by adding NESS. Exactly.
Selfishness.
Very good. Now the sentence, by the time he were 15, he left school. How can we correct the sentence?
By the time he was 15, he left the school.
Exactly.
He left the school when I was 15.
Okay, or he left school when he was 15.
When he was 15.
That's the other possibility.
Or when he left the school when he was 15.
Good. I have other here. How can we correct that one?
Is that for children?
Exactly.
So, like,
So children is the plural of?
It's plural
Child.
without
Or child, right?
children.
Child.
Good, other one.
Please.
How can we correct that one?
Whiteness.
No.
I
prefer life in tranquility.
In a
maybe.
quiet place.
No.
A quiet way.
No.
I don't know.
I prefer live alone.
I prefer what?
Live alone.
The problem is here. I prefer to.
Because there are two verbs.
Because there are two verbs.
Teacher, and what did you say? Quietud.
Inquietud. Inquietud.
Quietud. Tranquility.
Sí. Tranquility is one word. And the adjective is tranquil. I feel tranquil and I like the tranquility of that place. And this sentence, in my case, is not.
Not is, because that's the way for the question. Maybe.
No, no, it's not a question.
No, I mean, in my case,
pronoun?
not is, or just no, without the T.
No.
No.
Who makes the action? Cuando yo digo no es, ¿quién hace la acción?
The pronoun
¿Quién?
is not. The pronoun.
No hay nadie hace la acción. Pero como en inglés no podemos dejar verbos sin decir quién hace la acción, ¿qué ponemos?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
Is that the pronoun?
We need to always, in English,
The pronoun.
we need a person or a pronoun that refers to somebody that makes the action. If there is not a person, So we write it.
It's mandatory.
Is mandatory. And why it's mandatory? Because we have the same form of the verb for many subjects or for many pronouns. So the same form of the verb, but I need to tell the listener who is the one that makes the action, a man, a woman, nobody, because the verb is the same. Okay, other sentence.
When I was watching the video, watching,
Exactly.
Is the past continuous?
ing, ing.
Exactly.
Watching? ing?
Yes, right. And then we have other sentence. This sentence has two mistakes. How can we correct those mistakes?
You can say, instead of use in, you say at some point.
Okay, so you can say it at some point. What else? It's something that happened in the present, in the future, in the past.
The past teacher. I chose. I choose
I
is the verb.
chose.
I chose in the past.
Chose, that's the pronunciation. And now the word is not career, the word is a major.
Major.
Okay, teacher, and what is the difference? Because some people use a career, another one major.
The career is what you do when you graduate. So
Okay.
I had worked in, let's say, 6 different places during my career. So the career is when you finished your studies, you start your career.
Like the vida profesional.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what we call in Spanish carrera, in English is a major. Good. Then we have when a child. How can we correct that one?
When I was a child.
Exactly, when I was a child. And two more. He was very frustrated. How can we correct that one?
Verb in past. Frustrated.
Frustrating.
Exactly, the adjective. Frustrated. Okay, the last sentence is all the elections that you choose. What is the mistake there?
Teacher, all of the election.
No, the
All of
problem is the word elections.
the options.
Exactly.
Oh.
All the options. All the options that you choose.
election is Spanglish.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, election exists, right? But it refers to the election, presidential elections. Uh, in those situations, we have elections. Good. So that's all what I wanted to share with you tonight. Any question you have about the X-Way?
Yeah, well, this
Teacher,
way
I say
is
in a third unit
You are
and a
in
fourth
unit
unit.
3. You are in unit 4. Okay.
Think the mirror my classmates and me, we are trying to organize the time to try to accomplish the goal to finish this way.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't
Remember, I
finished the
remember I
unit 2
began
either.
late.
Sorry?
Remember, I began late.
Yes, I know. But I want to know if you have questions about what you have been studying so far.
I couldn't.
Maybe a really it's kind of relative close. Wait a moment. Wait a moment, teacher. For example, when you say when you say
Teacher, can I tell you something?
Yes, Elena.
Is maybe it's not related to the topic, but it was something that I was thinking. I know that all the teachers are busy with everything, and sorry,
Don't worry.
sorry, teacher. I was saying that um even for me it's important that maybe if you have the time that tell us to everyone what are the things that we need to improve. I know every one of us know exactly what things we are not good, but if you have the time that is possible, that you help us with some I don't know points or instructions that help us to improve in all the aspects, in grammar, in speaking, it could be possible later. It's
Oh,
difficult to say to everyone, but it would be great because we sometimes don't have in our daily lives someone that help us to correct, and there is there are solo the just the things that we realize, but there are things that we can do it because we don't have someone that can help us with these kind of things. And I don't you can uh, detect these kind of things in class, and maybe by your with our own we don't have this possibility. So
I understand your point. For example, tonight I wrote all the sentences that
mhm.
I just identified that some of you made when some of you made a mistake. Apart from that, I know that most of you are making mistakes when pronouncing words that have this sound. And for some of you, I have suggested that you need to practice this sound. Yes, let me show you. For example, this is a sound that we don't have in Spanish, and some of you mispronounce it. Some of you pronounce a T instead of the sound that is think, thought. So you guys can practice that sound. Let me show you how. If you go to YouTube, you will type.
Teacher,
Uh-huh.
there is an excellent page in English that can help all my classmates. The name is Juglis. Juglis is a page where you can put the word that you don't know how to pronounce correctly, and they help with the pronunciation, British and American.
Giovanni, you can write in chat this page,
Uh,
please. Julie?
yes, Juglis, Youghlist, Juglis is excellent. I recommend that page.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you.
Okay.
This page, for example, shows you exercises, shows you how to put the tongue to pronounce that sound. So it's the sound that I've just told you. Here is this sound that you find in the dictionary, and that usually we have it when we have th. Not always, but usually when we have a th word, or the word has th, we need to pronounce that sound. So this web page can help you to practice the sound. You can do the exercises that are recommended there, watch it several times, etc. Yes, so apart from that, I tried like to tell you each time we have the encounters, try to correct grammar or vocabulary mistakes. Uh, and yeah, and the pronunciation mistakes are the ones that I also type in the feedback of the encounter that I publish in the virtual room. But anyway, if you want me to do something else, let me know. Or if you want me to, for example, I don't know if you found the topic that you were going to ask about. You mentioned that clauses that you didn't complete the idea that you had about the topic that you studied in next way, that you had some questions about.
Teacher, talking just a little a bit about this way. This way is an excellent page. I love it, but it takes a lot of time to do all the units because, for example, each unit it takes me 1 week. I, I am going to finish the unit 2, but I haven't finished yet because I haven't had enough time. Because now in this right now I have 3 subjects, so I have a lot of work, and I have so few time because I have been working 14 hours a day, and without telling you the time of the transportation. So for me, it's tough.
Yeah,
But
this way takes
when
you
I have,
time. Sorry, but
yes,
you will
it's
take, you know that this course ends on March 31st, right? So you will be given till March 30th to finish this way, March 30th. So usually we finish that way a week before the course ended. But this time you were given the access to that way late. So you will be given till March
hello.
30th to complete to finish that way exercise.
Sure. I have a little question. We will have taken this is during the whole semester or just this course?
Could you repeat?
So we will be looking communication during the whole semester or just these 3 months?
I don't understand the question. Sorry.
I will try. So we will starting this material communication during the whole semester,
Okay.
or just these 3 months?
All right. No, this course is just a 2 months course. So
Oh my.
we started in February and we will end in March 30th. In March
Teacher,
30th.
and the
And the
next,
other semester, we will have the opportunity to look something like this for continuing practicing.
You can continue practicing English with the other classes, and usually by the end of this month we have tutoring sessions. So I will ask Jorge if the tutoring sessions will start in April, so you guys can join them to continue practicing English in an oral way.
teacher, I have an observation.
Yes.
For example, I love Dexway. In my case, when I not seen Dexway, uh, like in the last semester, for example, I feel that I forget all the English I studied. And in my case, it's necessary see the next way.
In your case, okay. So what you can do is to use a web page that is organized by Cambridge. Is kind of similar to this way in some way. You can practice listening, you can practice reading and grammar. I will share with you the link so you can use that page because it's free. You can access it
Cambridge
anytime. Yes,
is
yeah.
similar.
It's similar in the sense that you have listening, reading, and grammar exercises. You don't have videos, but you have the other three skills that you can
And
practice.
it's organized like this way. For example, B1, B2, A1,
What
B2,
it usually
C1.
is, it is organized by grammar topics. So on the left, you have a list of grammar topics. Let's say the tenses. Let's say present perfect or passive voice or conditionals or either and to or the use of adjectives, etc. So you choose the grammar topic and you practice listening, reading, and grammar exercises for that topic.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
So I will share with you tonight. I will look in my computer for the link, and I will share with you tonight the link of that web page.
Thank you, teacher.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Welcome. thank you very much for doing this encounter tonight.
Okay, teacher.
Have a good
That
night,
is a
everybody. Tell me,
have a good
Giovanni.
night, teacher. No, yes, I wanted to say thank you because if you can ask for authorization for 2 more weeks, the deadline of the desk way it would be excellent for us. It's a good news.
Well, Giovanni, I already asked, and the answer that I had was that the deadline was March the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
March
Yes.
the 30th. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, teacher. Have a good night. Have a good
Thank
night,
you.
all my classmates.
Bye, Giovanni. Bye, everybody.
Teacher, I
Bye-bye.
have a question about other thing for you a little bit.
Tell me.
I believe that Dariana interested too.
Uh-huh.
Teacher,
About the practicum, right?
yes, teacher, because George sends us a message about that we will have like an interview, but this will be in English or, or what is it? I don't know if you can provide us like an advice for this.
Well, no, it's just that the academic coordinator of the school wants to meet you and talk to you about the dynamics of the school, the students that they have, to show you the place. So it's that. It's not like they are gonna ask you about your previous experience teaching. No, because they know that you are practicing. So
No, okay.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, Carol.
Okay, thank you,
don't
teacher.
worry. Okay. So see you next week.
Okay, teacher, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher.
See you
Thank
next week, teacher.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Have a good one. Bye.
The same to you.